You've been taught that success needs hard decisions, that to win, you have to be ruthless. But no one warns you about the people those decisions bury, the trust they kill, the faces they leave behind. Most people call it a strategic move, a pivot, a necessary cut. But every bridge you burn has people standing on it. This is not a history lesson. It's a mirror. Because before you make your next necessary move, Gita 1.26, the ancient verse that maps the human heart, asks one brutal question. Do you see people? Or just obstacles? 1985. Apple is one of the hottest companies on earth. Steve Jobs is the visionary, the builder, the force behind the dream. But he's difficult, he's risky, and next to him is John Sculley, the man Jobs trusted, the man he personally brought in, the man he begged to leave Pepsi with the famous line, "Do you want to sell sugar water or change the world?" But the boardroom wasn't big enough for both of them. The sugar water salesman John Sculley gave the board a brutal choice. It's him or it's me. And in a move that felt like a public execution, the board, the very people Jobs had handpicked, unanimously turned their backs on him. At just 30 years old, the founder was exiled from the home he had built. That is what made it hurt. Not just the politics, not just the vote, the relationship. That's what abstract logic does. It turns a person into a problem, a bond into a liability, a betrayal into strategy. And yes, maybe Apple survived, but something inside it died. For over 10 years, it felt like Apple lost its soul. If you think this is just a Silicon Valley tragedy, look closer. 5,000 years ago, the Mahabharata captured this exact same agony. Arjuna, the greatest warrior of his age, stands at the edge of a war that will define history. He is ready to fight for justice and the throne, but he is standing in the exact same trap as Steve Jobs. The enemy across the field isn't a stranger. Krishna, the divine architect of the universe, acting as a humble charioteer for Arjuna. He knows exactly what he's doing. With a sharp pull of the reins, Krishna brings the chariot to a dead stop. He doesn't offer comfort. He just points a finger and delivers one cold, unavoidable command. Look. And this is where Gita 1.26 hits. The battlefield stops being a strategy map. It becomes a human map. Arjuna does not just see the other side. He sees fathers, grandfathers, teachers, brothers, sons, friends, well-wishers. This is the true terror. It isn't opposition, it's recognition. The moment the target turns around and you see a face that loved you, suddenly your necessary move has a name. It has a heartbeat. And Arjuna realizes that to win the world, he has to shatter his own soul. We live in a world that celebrates the cut. Move on, trim the team, drop the relationship, call it growth. But Gita 1.26 is your final warning. Before you pull that trigger, count the bodies. Your genius plan isn't just a move, it's a grave. Who are you burying to get what you want? Whose face are you choosing to erase just so you can win? Because once you stop seeing people, you can do almost anything and call it necessary. And that is how you win the battle, but lose a piece of your soul.